If you're looking to make content that actually sounds like you, today you're going to learn 3 psychological triggers that separate AI content that flops from content that actually connects with your audience. I'm not talking about theory. I'm not talking about something that, might work. I'm talking about real, factual content prompts that actually make AI sound like you every single time. I'm going to walk you through how to set those up and how to use them on your own. And then I'm going to show you the Social Flip app. It's going to make it even easier. But regardless of how you want to do it, by the end of this video, you're going to know how to make AI sound like you and create way better social media content, any kind of content that you really want to create. All right. So if that sounds like a good idea to you, let's get into it. All right, welcome back to Social Flip. Now, if you're new here, I help creators like you leverage AI for social media without losing what makes you special. And I think that this is a big deal when it comes to creating content, and we're all using AI. And it drives me freaking crazy when people try to act like they're still writing everything by hand and they're not using these tools, because you can see the pattern when people are using AI based off of how AI puts things out into the world, and people don't know how to edit, or they just think that that's good content, right? And then you can tell it. So what we're going to do on this channel and today is we're just going to continue to improve AI content, moving it towards a better brand voice, a better experience. And hopefully over time, as you subscribe and you watch these videos, you will become extremely good at creating content that came from AI, right? But no one will know because you're going to be that good at it. That's what we're looking to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to hop right in now and just hit this first trigger. And the first trigger is what I call personal experience anchoring, right? And what that means is everybody has their own experiences when they begin to work online, right? Or from wherever it was that you were before or where you are now, you have unique experiences that can be used to train the AI on how to speak like you. Okay. And so what I want to do first is I'm going to look at some of these before and afters, right? So when it comes to personal experience anchoring, right? The before with generic AI, email marketing is an effective tool for business growth. Studies show it has a 4,200% ROI. Best practices include segmenting your list, writing compelling subject lines, and testing different send times. Now, this is something that I'm sure you have read somewhere before on the internet. And if you don't know any better, you're like, oh, wow, okay, that's pretty informative. But here's what it looks like when you apply a personal experience anchor. Real talk, I deleted 15,000 email subscribers last year and my revenue went up. Why? Those subscribers came from viral giveaways but never bought. Once I cleaned my list and focused on my true fans, the ones who love my photography tutorials, our open rates jumped from 12% to 37%. Here's exactly how I did it. So you can clearly see that is a huge difference in regards to when you say, hey, ChatGPT, write me paragraph about email marketing, right? And how much you get back in return in ROI. Right? It's a big difference, right? Because if you have this experience within your arsenal and you've done that, and you want to train AI on how to use that particular experience to sound like you. I'm not saying that you're going to put this story in and all of a sudden every single time you create a piece of content, you're going to start talking about how you deleted 15,000 emails. No, what I'm showing you is how to take how this sounds in the context and everything and use that within your content. Okay. One more before and after. Okay. AI can help streamline your content creation process. It's important to maintain quality while scaling your output, right? Generic, very generic. Personal experience. Last Tuesday, I had 3 client calls drop out. Instead of panicking, I used my new AI workflow to create a week's worth of LinkedIn content in 23 minutes. The post about my proposal template hit 147,000 views. Here's exactly the process, right? Very different. And here's the prompt that I'm going to give you guys. I'm going to put it in a document that you can get your hands on So you don't have to read this and try to copy it or pause the screen or anything like that. Right? I'm going to give it to you. All right. So this is a personal experience anchoring, right? I'm blank. Write a social post about the topic that incorporates these specific experiences. List your 2 to 3 key personal stories or examples. Match this tone. Paste in the example of your writing, right? Focus on authenticity and maintaining my natural speaking style. You understand what I'm doing here. You understand what this is trying to do. I'm not telling the AI to use that story and show my expertise and show my thought leadership. That's gonna come, right? When you're editing your content and when you want to add things to your story. You can do that if you want. Say, hey, put the story in here and use it. But that's not what we're doing here. We're training the AI to understand how you sound, okay? And here's an example, right? I'm a social media marketing consultant who spent 5 years at Facebook and now helps startups. Write a social post about AI tools that incorporates these experiences. Leading this, leading that. Now you see how it says incorporates? That's different. Now you could say sounds like this experience. You can say use this tone. It's totally up to you. Help. The second one is helping a startup increase engagement by 300% by personalizing their AI content. Match this tone. Hey fam, just wrapped another crazy week helping founders crush their social game. The secret, stop chasing algorithms and start building real connections, right? If you throw this in to your LLM of choice, you will get way better content. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner. It doesn't matter if you've ever done this before. This prompt works. Okay, here, I'm going to take you for a ride. I'm going to take this. I'm going to show you 1 second here. Let me just pull up my other screen. I'm going to go into Claude. I'm going to bring this over just like this. No other prompts, no nothing, right? We're just going to copy and paste that here. Right? And we're going to say social media marketing consultant at Facebook. Write a social post for LinkedIn, right? We're going to throw that in there for LinkedIn about AI tools, right? And we're just going to see what you get, right? Let's see what you get. Okay. I won't say your social media strategy, but it can supercharge authentic connections. After 5 years of leaving Meta, I saw countless business fall into the same trap, generic content that screams AI generated. Even the fanciest tools can't hide when you're just going through the motions. Quick story. And then it goes into the story. Here's what most aren't getting. And then they go into AI should be your backstage crew, not the main act. At Meta, I watch algorithms reward genuine human connections every single time. The best AI tools help you scale that authenticity, not fake it. Right now, this is coming. I didn't prompt this. This is just Claude, right? You can take this, pause it, throw it in the ChatGPT and see what it gives you. But I guarantee you, it's not going to be giving you the, in this hyper-connected world, right? You're not getting that when you start prompting and using AI the right way. All right, so let's move this out of the way. We're going to get back to this over here. And so the next trigger is your emotional vocabulary, right? I call it emotional vocabulary mapping. Okay. And pretty much what that means is everyone has unique ways they express excitement, frustration, or joy, or happiness, or anger, or whatever. And you need to make sure that the AI understands that about you, right? You need to make sure that it understands how to use your language. And a lot of people don't do that. They skip that, and one of the biggest things is you want to plan properly, right? And begin to train the AI. So when you just throw something in there, it already knows how to speak like you. And now you're doing is you're just throwing in different situations and different topics and different keywords and things like that. And it goes on its merry way. It's not that AI is not smart enough or is just only makes generic content. It's just the way you drop your information in. And the first part of it is giving it the personal experience anchoring. The second part is the emotional vocabulary mapping. And here's some before and afters, right? We're excited to announce our new feature. This innovative solution will enhance your workflow and improve efficiency. We're confident you'll find it valuable, right? It's not terrible, but it's extremely generic, right? Now, when you add your personalized emotion, holy moly, fam, just pulled an all-nighter because I couldn't stop playing with this new feature. My hands are literally shaking on my fourth cup of coffee, but I had to show you this right now. You know that annoying thing where your automation breaks? That one that makes me go, ugh, not again, every time. Fixed it for real this time. Now, don't harp on my reading, right? Like, I know how to read. It's just, I'm not sitting here studying this before I hop on these videos, man. You know what I mean? So, like, give your boy some slack in the comments, man. I know you guys be hard. But no, for real. So that's a lot more human, right? And you would not think that a piece of AI wrote that. It sounds like it's coming directly from someone who sat down and typed this out, right? Okay. And another one, before, generic emotional language. It's important to address challenges in social media management. Here are some solutions to common problems, right? It's directly to the point, depends on who your audience is, right? But if you are someone like me that has a lot of energy and animation and things like that, you don't talk like that, right? You talk like you're talking to a friend, and you write like you talk, right? So that's what you want. So here's a personalized emotion, right? Let's get real for a hot second. I was this close to throwing my phone across the room yesterday. You know that feeling. 3 client campaigns, 2 broken scheduled tools, and 0 patience left. But fam, what happened next literally had me doing happy dances in my office. Steal my fix below, right? Like, you're going to read, even if it's for another couple minutes, right? Or a couple seconds or whatever, you're going to read because you're like, wow, okay, you know what? I want to see what he used to fix this problem, right? So that's my examples, right? And the prompts here is the emotional vocabulary mapping. Write a social post about this topic. Use this typical emotional expressions. When I'm excited, I say, add your examples. When I'm frustrated, I say, add your examples. When I'm passionate, I add your examples, right? Include these phases naturally while maintaining my core message about whatever your topic is. Again, right? I'm telling you, this simple prompt right here will create a post that sounds like you. If you're not wasting your time, you know, you don't have to waste your time trying to write these massive prompts. You just need to be very precise. And I'm going to show you again. Write a social post about AI content creation using my emotional expressions. When I'm excited, I say absolutely mind-blowing, game-changing alert. When I'm frustrated, here's the thing, folks. Let's get real for a second. When passionate, I'm obsessed with, and this changes everything. Include these phrases naturally while explaining how to make AI content more human, right? That's kind of what this video is about. How to make AI generated social media content sound like you, 2025, right? So let's take this example. I'm going to bring my Claude back over so you guys can see it's on the same page. And I had done this before, right? This page is empty. It's a brand new thing. I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm pretty confident that we're going to get something that generates a pretty solid starting point, right? Let's get real for a second about AI content creation. I've been testing every AI writing tool out there. And here's the thing, folks. Most people are using them completely wrong. You're treating AI like a magic content machine instead of a creative partner. When you get it right, absolutely mind-blowing. I'm obsessed with this approach. I've been developing. Instead of letting AI write your whole post, use it to brainstorm unique angles, enhance your natural voice, polish your raw thoughts. Game changer alert. Started using AI to amplify my voice instead of replacing it. And engagement has gone through the roof. My secret? I feed it examples of my best performing content, and then it learns my style, not the other way around. This changes everything about how we should think about AI content. It's not about automation, it's about amplification. Your quirks, your stories, your authentic voice. That's what AI should enhance, not erase. Who else is experimenting with this? Drop your experiences below. Let's figure out this human AI dance, this human AI content dance together. Right? That sounds like a copywriter wrote this. It doesn't sound like some robot just wrote this. And I don't care how good these models get. They're only as good as what you feed it. Right? You have to really want to improve upon that and learn that. And these prompts that I'm giving you are absolutely going to help, hands down. You can take them one by one and create tons of different pieces of content, right? And now let's move on to the third trigger here, because we're already 15 minutes in. Now, conversational rhythm. What is conversational rhythm? Okay, let me show you what that is. Let me get into that with you here. So conversational rhythm is the final trigger we're talking about here, and that's about matching your natural speaking rhythm, right? This is what makes your content feel authentically you. So this AI is throwing in some of the content based off of what I wrote here about my expressions and emotionally, and throwing those things in, but you can also add in more information, right? In the sense of how your content is formatted at the end. So when we're looking into the before and afters, I only have one here because this is a bigger post, right? So before, generic content, product launch strategies are critical for success. First, conduct market research, then develop your messaging. Finally, execute your plan. Consider timing and audience engagement, right? That's how you do a product launch. After, with personal rhythm. You know that moment right after, you know that moment right before you hit publish? Heart racing, palm sweaty, cursor hovering? That was me last week, launch day. But here's what nobody tells you about launches. First 10K, easy. Second, next 50K, different game. Past 100K, that's where my strategy flipped everything. Quick story, add your personal anecdote, key learning, add your lesson, your story, action step, done. Drop a rocket if you want my actual checklist. Right? Notice here, short punchy lines, built-in pauses, personal timing beats, signature hook structure. Right? You can do all of this, right? In the sense of when you're using personal rhythm, you can feed the CAI and it's gonna understand. And so here is the prompt. Using this sample of my writing style, you paste in your example, create a social post about a topic that matches my sentence length, patterns, transition words, and unique expressions. Pay special attention to my typical post structure. Describe how you usually organize your thoughts. You throw that in there, right? And here is the example. Using my sample writing, listen up, social fam. Here's what nobody's telling you about AI. It's not replacing your voice. It's about amplifying it. Quick story time. Create a social post about personalizing AI content. My typical structure: hook, question, personal story, 3 quick tips, actionable, challenge, follow for followers, right? So I'm going to just copy this one more time. I'm going to throw that into Claude. It could be whatever you want it to be. And the reason why I'm doing this, if you're still here, I'm grateful. Thank you so much for still being here. Subscribe if you like content like this, right? Like, I know this isn't the most sexiest video, and most of them aren't going to be, right? Because I'm not here to, to be sexy. I'm here to show you what I'm using and how it works, right? And these prompts do that for you, right? And now here you can see over here, it tells you everything. It opens up exactly how I said. Ever wonder why some of the content hits different? While most sound like a robot trying to be human. Right? Listen up, social fam. Here's what nobody's telling you about AI. It's not replacing your voice. It's about amplifying it. Quick story time. Last week, I took my most viral post, the coffee shop rant that blew up, and fed it to 3 different AI tools. The first 2, total snooze things. But the third, we trained it on my actual voice, my real stories, my signature sass, and boom. Here's the juice on making AI content that actually sounds like you. And then it gives you the 3. And then here's your challenge this week, right? You see how it put everything into what we told it to, right? And that's what I'm talking about, because it doesn't take a lot of hard work. You just need to use the hard work that I did and steal this, right? Like, and then make it your own, right? But that's what it's all about. Like, we're here to give people the ability to hit the ground running when it comes to social media. Now, I have a super prompt that puts all three of these together. But before we get to that, I want to show you this tool, right? I want to show you socialflip.io, right? Because all the things that we just talked about, you can do within this tool, right? And so I'm just going to walk in really quick, take a brief second, take a look at what you can see my email, like, hey, send me an email, hook me up. It's not my business email, but you can still see me on Gmail at businessai360. Okay, and so here we are. So the minute you get into a dashboard, usually it'll be empty, right? This will be all zeros, right? And then what'll happen is you'll be told that you need to set up your brand voice, okay? And you're gonna fill out a bunch of information here, some questions, brand values, all of these things. You're gonna hit analyze brand voice, and it's gonna analyze your brand voice, right? And it's gonna give you this beautiful little document, and it's gonna have your positioning based off of what you told it. It's gonna have a summary of your brand voice. It's gonna have your characteristics, your audience insights, all these cool things for you to come back to again and again to look at. If you need to make some changes because your business changes, you can go in here and make some edits, right? But once you're done, you're going to go down here to guidelines, and you're going to copy this, all right? And after you save it or whatever, you're going to come back here, you're going to go back to the dashboard, and you're going to have this thing that says content guidelines. And you're going to cut and paste this inside here. And these three things are going to be empty, right? So you see there's 4 here. This is your personal experience anchor, right? This is where you add your first story. And what you're doing is you're training the AI about your context, about how you say things, right? And so you have your key story here, and then you have your common challenges that you solve, right? And you have this here, boom, done, right? You throw that in, you save your story. Now you can save up to 5 of these stories, okay? And the cool thing about that is you have 5 of them here. Then when you go into your emotional vocabulary mapping, you also have these. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to mix and match. So over here, you might want story 2 to use, or, you know, and then match with vocabulary 3, etc. You can do that if you want. And then here you have your conversational rhythm structure, right? And I have 2 here, but this is the one that I use right now with the short, punchy lines, closing style, how many emojis, opening style, etc. Right? And then you can edit these if you want to. As you open it, you can just go in here and then make your changes and save it. And then as you begin to create content, what happens is you'll take on this content generation screen. This is really how you begin to take content that you've already created, let's say, or content that you want to create. And you can take content from LinkedIn, you can take it from, you know, any social media, and use it as inspiration. And when you copy and paste your viral content here, it's going to give you content that sounds specifically like you using that context, right? So you don't have to think about what ideas, right? You can be like, I'm not sure what to talk about today within my industry. Go find somebody that's in your industry that you love reading content for, and let's say LinkedIn, right? I go into LinkedIn, right? And be like, oh, you know what? Who's on here today? Oh, I like this guy. I think he's great. Let's see here. Company loyalty. No, that's not really cool. Here, 10 rules truth about building a business, right? Right on my alley, right? I take this, I copy it, right? Keep building. I don't care about that offer. Take this, drop this in here like that, right? Hit this, and you wait about 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds, right? Now what it's doing is it's reading my brand voice, right? It's making sure that the content that's being created stays on topic, stays on context, but also that it resonates with my brand voice, right? So I'm not going to sound like that guy. I'm not going to sound like anyone. I'm going to sound like me. But it didn't take me any time at all to look at some inspiration, and then take that and use it, right? And then all I do here is I open this up, and here you go. 10 brutal truths about building a business that will make or break your entrepreneurial journey. And then when I first started my entrepreneurial journey, I thought building a business was all about having a great idea, working hard. Boy, was I wrong, right? Let me share the raw, unfiltered truth that no business school will teach you. And then it goes through what he talks about, and you can either take some of this and edit it to put it into your voice or whatever, but this is what he talked about, right? And you can use some of this. Take it, use it as inspiration and add your own spin, but it sounds human. It doesn't sound like a robot built this, right? Or wrote this. Most people will believe in you initially. Friends, family, even potential investors might doubt your vision. Use that skepticism as fuel to prove them wrong, right? There's not one piece of AI where you can just say, hey, yo, write me top 10 about business, entrepreneurial truths, and it's going to sound like that. It's not going to happen, right? So this is what I wanted to show you is like in this particular application, you don't have to do all of that. All of the work is done for you. You just go in here, you add in your information, you add in your vocabulary, you add in your rhythm, and then from there, the pieces of content that you're able to create, whether it's Twitter, Threads, Instagram, carousel posts, stories, or mini guides, right? This is just for here. You can copy and paste anything that you want. And then on this particular content revival, it's blog posts, it's YouTube transcripts, it's URLs, or you can upload an image with words, text, and get the same type of content, right? I'm not going to go through. If you want to know what this app looks like and how it works, I have tons of videos on the channel that walk through each page and how this stuff works. So we're not going to go through that there because this is already a 26-minute video, but I wanted to show you that you don't need to do this manually. But if you do, I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm going to give it to you and how you can use it on your own without using this software, if that's what you want, right? And this super prompt right here, it's putting it all together. Pretty much what it does is it puts everything, all three of these together in one prompt, right? So create a social media content using my personal brand voice. You put in your personal experiences, your background, your key story, a couple of challenges that you solve, right? Then your emotional language, you're excited. When you're addressing problems, when sharing solutions, you say these things, right? Your content structure, I typically post at this length. This style, I start my posts with, I close with this. I like emojis a lot, a little bit or none at all, right? And this is the example of what it looks like when it's filled out, right? So that, and then with that, things changing, everything, mind blown. Let's get real. Truth bomb. You probably already realized that truth bomb was used in one of the pieces of content I created, right? And then typical post, right? And you can play with these things as far as this prompt when you are using it, but this is what it output, right? So with this information up here, this is what it wrote. Want to know why most people's AI automation fails? Let's get real for a second. I lost 50,000 trying to automate my first startup the wrong way. Truth bomb. I was obsessed with automating everything without a real strategy. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Did that teach me a lesson? Right? And I don't know who uses holy smokes, but somebody probably does. Right? And here's the thing. AI workflow automation isn't about replacing humans. It's about amplifying what works. After selling 2 tech companies, I've cracked the code on what actually moves the needle. Game changer alert. Right? Start with your top revenue generating task, just one. Build your automation around that. Steal this framework. Map the task, test the manual first, then automate. The next move, pick that one task today. Right? And you could see this, you can pause it and read it. But that is how you make AI sound like you. You can use Social Flip. You can use these prompts. I'm going to give them to you. I also have a bonus if you are still here that I'm going to throw in with this group of prompts where it's going to kind of walk you through how to create a 30-day plan that connects everything together. which makes your content sound even better, and it keeps people on the hook when they're following you on social. It's like an email campaign, but for social media, right? Where you're keeping them interested in what it is that you're talking about for an extended period of time. Okay. And I call that the AI content calendar stack. That will be included in the document that I'm giving. It's about 30 minutes. If you're still rocking with me, thank you. I appreciate it. Hopefully you found this helpful. Subscribe, hook me up, throw some comments in there, ask for more ways, more examples. I'm down to do whatever it is that you're looking for. But I really do think that you should download this this guide. It walks through everything I just did, plus a whole lot more. Thanks again. I will see you next week with a brand new video. Take care.